Hello and welcome. This is the weekly soul revival for the week of May 26th. And also happy new moon in Gemini. Love when the new moon or full moon falls on the Monday. It's just perfect. This is the weekly intuitive energy reading and sacred guidance to support the revival of your authentic self, to support you on your journey of coming back to the true essence that is you. So, without further ado, let's get started. As always, I start with a tarot reading for your energy reading. This is all about you. This is, any emotional themes that are coming up for you this week. It can point to just any maybe dense energy that you're holding in your body. And this is just our little energy check-in, if you will. And then afterwards, I always do a Sacred Rebel guidance. And if anybody doesn't know, it is the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. This is an amazing deck. And we will tune into source, spirit, higher self, spirit guides, whoever wants to come through to offer you the sacred guidance to tap into your authentic self, your most unique, sacred rebel authentic self. And so we'll get into that shortly. So as always, I take a second to ground. Your girl's feeling a little tired today and has been having a little bit of coffee. So got to take a moment to ground. And so I invite you to do the same thing. Mondays are notorious for being sluggish and just, the Mondays, right? But what we don't know is that Mondays are attuned to the moon, and it's actually a really emotional day. It's a time for reflection. So screw capitalism for, starting the work week on a Monday. But that's exactly why I do these readings on Monday. So we can tap into more of the intuitive nature or more emotional nature, and to help set us off for the week. So just take a few grounding deep breaths, and I always ask for source, spirit to help guide this reading, allow me to be a clear channel to deliver this message to you. And I ask for them to help this reading find whatever is meant to find it in the divine timing they're meant to find it in. Okay. All right, so give it a little shuffle. And Spirit, show me the viewer's energy for this week of May 26th. How are they feeling? Show me their energy. Do a little clearing. Okay. All right, show me the viewer's energy. Okay, we got one that fell out. Okay, got the one. Let me grab it. Oh, look at that. Yes, I'm loving this for you. We've got, look at that beautiful Queen of Wands. And the reason why I love this so much, because I feel this burst of energy. I feel this confidence coming through. I feel so happy to see this for you, because this has been a little undercurrent in so many of our readings. It's either underneath the deck or it's somewhere in there, and I know that it got brought up last week, so I feel that you met yourself well last week because this energy is coming out for you. So you may have, if this is a follow-up from last week, you may have trusted more of your own intuitive nudges to honor certain emotions, maybe set certain boundaries in relationships. So whatever it is that you did last week, I feel like it's really paying off this week. I feel like you're feeling more in energetic balance, and you're tapping more into your intuition, more of your creativity, more of your passion. It feels like more of your spirit has come online. And I just love that for you, because that feels amazing. So yeah, let's just take a look at her beauty, beautiful, powerful, confident, creative self. And underneath the deck, we've got the Ace of Wands. So yes, it feels like renewed spirit, just your passion, your creativity, some new inspiration. Who knows if this new moon in Gemini is also sparking some of that newness, the new beginning, new inspirations, new ideas, maybe new creative projects. This is very exciting, very exciting. Split the deck to the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness. And it's technically reversed, but so the energy I'm feeling from this reading right now. But it could have been more of the fact that you've felt certain delays. Actually, that's what it feels like. No wonder, because I was like, it doesn't feel like the actual stagnancy part of it. I think it's more of like you're coming out of that period where there may have been certain delays, and as we know, out of protection, timing wasn't right on certain things. There may have like this energy needed to be accessed for this wheel to turn upright. So it feels like there's going to be some shifts. It feels like momentum's going to start happening. It feels like you went through a certain season or a certain cycle, and now we're beginning a new one. And so I'd be really curious actually to follow this moon cycle. The moon cycles, I believe, happen in 6 months. Don't quote me on that. But if it is, follow this new moon in Gemini in like the 6 months or however the time frame is for the moon cycle, because it kind of feels like this is going to be a really important cycle for you. Some major stuff feels like it's going to happen. Some destiny type stuff feels like it's going to be coming through during this new cycle. Yeah, and it feels like one where you're going to be like, it kind of feels like some financial independence. I won't lie. It feels like something in that regard, but it just feels like you're going to be feeling, again, like waking up to kind of the luxury of life, if that makes any sense. Just like this feeling of like, I feel like with the spirit that you're following, this like awakened spirit, maybe new ideas, new creative projects, but it feels like it's going to lead to some like financially lucrative things where you're going to start feeling a little bit like you're living the good life. So I'm loving that. Loving that for you. I wonder if there's any This feels really important because it also feels like you've let go of some burdens that were weighing down your spirit. You may have been feeling like overburdened, burnout, carrying a lot of responsibility for things. It feels like this was really weighing you down. I just feel like this like drop of energy on my shoulders. It just feels like this was weighing you down for a really long time. And I think there was some kind of purpose in the delay here, because how is Spirit going to help, drop some divine inspiration, ideas, some new soul project or creative project when this is what you're carrying, right? Like, they're not going to drop another one on you when you're carrying this much. So it kind of feels like part of this divine delay was protection for this. And they just wanted to make sure in this season, in this cycle, maybe you've dropped some of those burdens, you cleared some of that energy out, and you're starting to feel like this. You're starting to feel like your Queen of Wands energy is coming back online. And that way, this can come through because you're open, you're clear, you're trusting, you trust into your intuition, you're feeling into things. So yeah, all right, cool. I'm loving that. And hold on, I gotta check something really quick. because I want to make sure I don't get that wrong. Love it at the computer desk. Let's see. Okay, that is what I thought. So the last card that I just wanted to check out was I lifted up the Lovers. And the Lovers is ruled by Gemini. And it feels like you're having the opportunity to make some new choices here. Some new choices. This might also, like this new moon in Gemini might be giving you some more clarity that will help this like vibrancy of your spirit kind of be coming back online. It just feels like so much newness. It feels like so much awakened, so much sparked energy is coming back in. And I feel like you're going to have the ability to just make choices that align with you and your values and your energy so much better. Just feels like there's going to be so much more alignment in your energy overall, because like you're not overburdened. You've dropped that. You are listening to your intuition more. You're feeling more confident. And all of that is just feeling like all these parts are coming into alignment. And from that place, you're going to be so much more knowing of when a choice you're making is out of alignment. You're going to be so much more intuitive to the certain nudges that feel like you're veering off course from what feels like in alignment, because that just feels good. You know, that just feels good. So amazing. It's looking like a good new moon for you, and I'm really interested to see what this cycle is going to bring forward for you. Okay, now let us get into the Sacred Rebel's guidance for this week. So Spirit, please show us the Sacred Rebel guidance for this beautiful Sacred Rebel soul, and offer, some support for them for following their intuitive nudges, their authentic self, coming back into the true core essence of them, their soul. Show me a guidance for them for this week. Okay. And also, by the way, if you ever see me do this, it's because it just helps with the traction, okay? It's my deck, nobody else is touching it. What's their guidance for this week? I think we've gotten this one before. I believe we have got restore and replenish. So the vibe I'm getting from this, remember that burnout card we saw, that 10 of Wands? I feel like you're in recovery mode after that period. Or that would be the guidance for this week, is to allow yourself to recover from that burnout period. From that period of moving out of alignment, from forcing these things with energy that you do not have, giving from an empty cup, exhausting your entire spirit from functioning in a way that was out of alignment to you. The guidance would be to allow yourself some respite and recovery time this week. See how she's just in a fetal position in this little, I don't even know, a little nest of shells, if you will. I remember in one of the readings, I equated this card to feeling like the 3 of Swords in the Light Seers deck. I think that's, or the 4 of Swords. Might be the 4 of Swords, actually. Either way, the imagery in the Light Seers deck looks just like this. It's a recovery energy. She's in a little nest. And that's what it feels like is calling you this week is carving out that time to restore your spirit, just help that along, right? There's new energy, there's new momentum, there's all of this. And so you might be feeling that feeling of like having to run with it, which is amazing. We love like more inspiration, more energy, like moving in that direction. But at the same time, can we trust that you have enough time? Can we not move from a scarcity kind of place that I have to do it all right now, even against my energy? It feels like this week it'll really nourish you to listen to your energy. Take time out for yourself this week. Lots of self-care. And if you can, right, like slow it down. Like this is one of the things I do say in my job with clients is that sometimes we don't always have like an hour every day to chill out and relax. We can't afford to go to a spa or a vacation, and nobody wants to just live for the weekend perpetually, you know? So what can you do in your day to find those pockets of relaxation, peace, the slowness? And what I always say is that it's less about what you're doing, but how you're doing it. And I think that is the invitation for this week also, 11:01, as I say that. There is a momentum and a pace. And there's so much power in your momentum and your pace of how you move through the day. Right? So I would invite you to just be aware of how fast you're moving. Because if you can slow yourself down, do one thing at a time, do things a little bit slower, breathing as you're doing it, we can find a little bit more relaxation in the process of the day. And I think that is going to be a key to this next chapter. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little itty bitty key. Little key in the corner. And it feels like that is a little key to this next chapter, to this next cycle that you're entering. Is the key is listening to your body, listening to your energy, choosing actions that are in alignment with your energy, not forcing it out of alignment, out of scarcity, out of overburdening, overworking. We saw that. You did that. You knew how to do that very well. But we're evolving, we're growing, we're moving into new cycles. We have seen that doesn't work for your energy body. Okay, we've got the new confidence online, the new downloads coming in, the insight, the passion, the spirit is getting sparked back awake. But what are you doing with that energy? Are you going to let it burn out? Because right now you have a spark, right? But we don't want it to burn out. We don't want to fan the flame so hard because we're so excited that the spark is back alive that we end up blowing it out. So it feels like nurture it. Give it what it needs, right? Little, what's it called? Kindling, whatever, right? Feed it what it needs at a time. Blowing it a little bit, okay, but let it be. Sometimes we also have to let it be as we're trying to fan that flame into something that is sustainable and roaring. And right now it feels like not getting ahead of yourself with this newfound energy that's coming back online. We want to cradle this with so much tenderness. Not that it's fragile and like it's going to break if you do something wrong, but it's more about sustainability, right? We want your spirit to be here all the time. We don't want it to burst and have so much energy for a little bit just for it to burn out again and then have a period of needing to have that time out and then for it to come back on. You know, that is not a sustainable cycle for your energy. Ideally, wouldn't we want our spirit to be alive every day? Just feeling nourished and plentiful and bountiful and endless every day. That would be amazing, right? But in order to do that, we need to trust the cycles as well. We saw that cyclic card with the Wheel of Fortune. We also have to trust the cycles that our energy comes in. And we're not meant to be in bloom all year long, right? Look at nature. Everything moves in cycles. And so can you trust yourself to know that your energy will still be there if you also rest, if you also slow down, if you don't immediately try to force yourself to do everything on your to-do list or every idea that's coming through? Can we trust that it'll still be there if you do what is available for you with the energy that you have right now? Right? The whole spoons theory. We only got so many spoons in a day. Can you trust that if you use the spoons you have available to you, and that spirit wouldn't ask you to deplete yourself in order to help this come through? And if anything, they entrust you with it because they know that that is meant for you. Can you allow yourself that time to replenish your energy, treat it as sacred? And when you have rested, you have now helped your fiery spirit and all the inspiration and creativity to have this sustainable motivation and nourishment, because it's not getting burnt out really quickly. Trying to see if there's anything more that wants to come through about that. Yeah, but there does feel like there's some new beginning. I pulled to the Sacred Fool card. There definitely feels like there's some kind of new beginning here at play. And it also is like it's going to be new to you. And also in that way, like taking the time to, it feels like take the time to be in your own energy, because whatever it is that wants to come through, whatever you want to create, your passions, the things that you want to pursue with this newfound spirit and energy coming back online, it might be kind of new to you in the sense that it can be vulnerable to share that newness with the world or with other people, because they may not understand it, or it might influence it because it's still so new to you. So it also kind of feels like this sacred time to kind of pull back your energy and just kind of be within yourself this week is also serving in some way as a little bit of protection from outside energy, from outside influence, from outside judgments, outside just lack of recognizing what it is that you're offering. And it feels like you being in your own energy serves the protection of whatever it is that you're trying to bring forward through you, because it'll kind of strengthen the foundation of you and therefore whatever it is that you're creating as well. And whatever it is that you're creating wants to have that sturdy foundation. I am curious to see the guidebook. But I did put the card back in this deck, so give me a moment if I can find it. And you know what? If I can't find it, maybe it is meant to stay there. Here we go. Okay. 38. So let's just see if there's any messages that want to be echoed through the guidebook. You are in need of something so much deeper than rest. You need restoration, replenishment, and revival. This will not necessarily come from lying about somewhere and taking a moment out of your day or evening activities. You are more likely to gain what you need by breaking with your routine completely and doing something different. You need some variety, some spice, some change to bring fresh energy into your body, mind, and heart. You need to restore and revive yourself by changing the usual flow of energy through your being. Changing the usual flow of energy through your being feels like key. Like we said, we saw kind of how you've allowed energy to flow through your being before, and it may not have really worked for you. It may not have really been energetically in alignment with you. So it is calling for this energy to flow in a different way in your being. Let's see, I'm gonna skip around. Let's see. This oracle also comes as a message from the great loving guardian, which is life itself. You have been working so hard and have accomplished so much already. However, you often sell your compliment. This is why I don't read from the guidebook, guys, okay? Because your girl struggles, okay? However, you often sell your accomplishments short and focus on how much more is yet to be done. Life is telling you that it is time to put down the paintbrush, the pen, the endless list, and the thinking mind and get into your body. Take the time to experience yourself in and of nature. Remember how to just be. That feels so key, okay? Like literally what we were talking about, burnout, you've overextended, you have done so much. You're probably somebody who's like already ready to do the next thing. What else needs to be done? Endless list. Let me do that. Let me do this. And it goes against your body. Okay? So again, the great loving guardian of life itself wants you to recognize what you have accomplished and that it's okay to take some time to rest and be in your own body, right? Take to experience to just be. And that feels like the call this week. 11:11, as we say that, okay? So that's what this feels like. Take the time to just be. You've done so much. Your spirit's coming back online. You don't gotta rush through it. It's back. We want it to be here to stay. And part of that is just being. Not always something you gotta do or accomplish or make happen. And it's so funny is that part about experiencing yourself in and of nature. Remember how to just be. Yesterday I took myself to the park and spent a few hours there. And it was so lovely because it's one of those things where I want to be outside more, but I don't take that time for me all the time. And so it was really nice to just sit there and soak up the sun and just be present in the energy of nature. Nature is so restoring and replenishing. So also maybe take some time and be in nature this week because it will help you in that process. But all the little critters were coming to me and it was really amazing. 2 little geese came up to me, a squirrel came up to me, there was a dang little caterpillar on my blanket, a crow flew right in front of my face that I had to move out of its way, and a duck started following me. And I was channeling and journaling about like what is nature teaching me right now in this moment, because those little critters loved my energy yesterday. And the message that was coming through for me was about how they're showing me how we're all interconnected. And that nature just is, that duck just is, the squirrel just is, and I just am. That's it. This life, this experience, it just is. There is no good, there is no bad, there is no all these things that we wait for and put a goalpost in the future, like, oh, joy's over there, just a little bit longer till the weekend, then I can relax then, or like once I finish that thing, I'll feel fulfilled. We constantly put it at a goalpost somewhere in the future and then perpetually keep moving that goalpost. And it just felt like this message of like, it's right here. You just have to be. It just is. You just are. The birds just are, the tree just is, and so are you. So just be, So just that reminded me of that channeling I did yesterday. And so just be. Just be. Yes. Okay, and just one last thing here. So you are confirming that you are in an important transition phase between one level experience to the next. So absolutely, if you have felt this in-betweenness, if you have felt like something hasn't been moving in the direction that you want it to move in, this is a confirmation that you are definitely moving from a new way of being, right? And new endeavors and all these things that want to get started, which is amazing, but we need to also take care of the vessel that is creating this. So take the time to be with yourself this week. Excuse me. Nourish that spirit by just allowing yourself to be. And know that when you'll feel called to move, you'll move. But don't forget to listen to the calls for rest and relaxation. And know that what's meant for you can't miss you. So trust when your energy wants to wax and wane and ebb and flow. And know that when you move in an alignment with that, you're moving in alignment with this creative, intelligent force that we all are a part of that just is. So I hope that this week you allow yourself to just be and revel in how much you have accomplished, so much that you have done, and revel in that feeling of that spirit and spark being flamed awake and awakened in you. But also just take care of it. Let it just be. Let it breathe for a little bit. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week.